The MoneroTopia weekly news segment is sponsored by WizardSwap.io, a non-custodial cryptocurrency exchange.
Hey guys, what's up?
What's up, Tony? I see Privacy OG saying, actually, I was working with another guy who used to have Monero YouTube channel, also Aussie, to make Monero conferences down here, but I found barely anyone willing to help. Yeah, that's the hard part. That's the hard part. I think that's what MoneroTopia has done well, right? We have a great group of a network of people that are in it for all the right reasons that want to help. We need to expand that network globally. We need to see conferences blossoming up around different parts of the world. I'm more than willing to move MoneroTopia after this one in Mexico City. There's just so many positives to keeping it here and growing it and keeping the inertia growing, and the venue is amazing and the market. But I'm definitely like, potentially considering going. I've been talking about that forever, right? I mean, it's enticing, right? The novelty of saying, let's do it in Buenos Aires. Let's do it in Japan, right? It's technically legal there, right? Like, how awesome would it be to have a MoneroTopia in Japan? Oh my God,
that would be friggin' amazing. Obviously, that'd be incredibly expensive, and not very many people could actually go to that one. But
right, it would have to be more
really
like
amazing.
Local people from that side of the world. I don't know how big.
Like
I don't know
Happy
how
Landing 45, they can come and sell property.
Yeah, we could have it on their property.
That'll be awesome.
If we could buy the property and throw them in MoneroTopia.
Or just rent it.
Oh, we have our first XMR chat of the day. Cyrus tipped $4.98. I don't know how much Monero that is. I gotta fix. We gotta fix that so it shows the Monero amount. I don't know why it's not showing the XMR amount. I went to Steak and Shake yesterday for a burger and noticed they are accepting Bitcoin now. Very cool, very cool. Yeah, I think I had heard that announcement at some point, right? I think, Tux, didn't you take advantage of that? I spoke to the manager about it, and he said they may be accepting other cryptocurrencies in the future. I shilled Monero, of course. God bless. I guess depending on what, I'm sure they're using, they're probably using Coinbase or something to accept. What are they using as their?
I don't remember what they're using. I think it was some partially custom solution. Yeah. But I did go back in, what was that, May, I think, in Vegas. There was next to the Bitcoin conference. Went to Steak and Shake, paid with Lightning, the thing, whatever. It's fine. It worked. Nothing crazy. I'm trying to remember what system they used. I'll have to find out again. I imagine if they accept other currencies, though, it's going to be like Solana or stable coins, or like stable coins on Solana, stable coins on Bitcoins with their layer twos. So I imagine it's not going to be, Monero is probably not within the realm of even being considered. We tend to forget sometimes Monero is still relatively niche as far as crypto goes. Crypto OGs know about it, but the masses and their perception of cryptocurrency, Monero is really not quite there. So
yeah. What I would say to that, though, is don't assume they're not adding it because they can't add it or whatever it is. It's up to us to grow adoption at this point, especially here in the US. You can legally use Monero. You can legally accept Monero pretty much anywhere, even here in New York. So to kind of be but they don't accept, we got to get them to accept Monero, right? And so it's up to us to do that, to grow it. A lot of people don't realize. I mean, Monero, there are ATMs in the U.S. that you could get Monero at. I mean, that's kind of, people kind of overlook that, right?
The Byte Federal ones.
Yeah, there's a lot of adoption that should happen in that area, right? There should be easy access to Monero ATMs. We can grow that if there's demand for it. Obviously, I think the issue is a lot of people don't want to get KYC'd, right? So there's that, which is why I'm excited about this ATM idea that we're trying to do at MoneroTopia. The idea being to kind of make it not a traditional ATM, but think of it more as a local Monero machine that brings together buyers and sellers for peer-to-peer transactions.
That's just Alaskanon, right? That's just him.
That's it. It's just we'll just have him standing there with like a box that says ATM, Monero ATM. Yes, exactly. That is essentially what I'm trying to do.
It.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do. But yeah, trying to get that going at the venue at MoneroTopia. I mean, these guys, you know, you've seen the Monero ATM thing they built at MoneroCon, right?
Oh, that was super cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
yeah, that one's
they have
sick.
They have the software for it, and it can be tweaked in ways where essentially that's what it becomes. Its own self-sustaining, peer-to-peer, secure box for trading cash to Monero. Right? And at that point, you're not a money transmitter. You're just this device that's being used, and you set it up in a way where it's not taking fees. Yeah, this is what I've been thinking about, and I think just giving you an example, right, of things that can be done to grow adoption for Monero. So that's an idea I've been thinking about recently, and then trying to incorporate that into XMR Bazaar, because you're coordinating the buyers and the sellers. So there's so much to do in terms of adoption, and I hate when people are like, I just feel like they're they're kind of shrugging, like, but they don't accept Monero. Like we got to make that happen. It's up to us to make that happen. See it as opportunity. See it as you're in Bitcoin in 2013 right now, 2012 in terms of like level of adoption.
Yeah.
And so see that as opportunity to be part of the class that actually gets the adoption going, and you will benefit greatly from that as it grows.
And if it doesn't exist, actually, perfect. And you do it. Like, for example, for Privacy OG, he talked about the Australia, and then he wanted to make a conference. So it doesn't exist and nobody was helping you.
Right.
Perfect. Keep pushing it. Go on XMR Bazaar, go on Reddit and find people. And
right.
actually
Reach out to us. Big let's bring MoneroTopia there. Yeah, do whatever you gotta do. Yeah, get it going. If you start running with the ball, people will jump on.
Yes.
People will come behind you.
And we'll give you a shout out here. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can come on and talk about it, and we'll help you. I've held for Monero Tail Mission like a little gathering, and it was just literally me and my two friends. And what was the speaker at MoneroTopia, the first one, and that's it. Nobody else came. I posted online, and that's okay.
This is in Florida.
Yeah, that was in West Palm Beach, and that was when Monero Tail Mission kicked in.
Oh, yes. I remember that. Yeah.
It's just literally me and my two friends.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Like, I got to get the meetups going again in New York. We have PubKey, which Vic is a part of now, that bar. Yep. We got to start doing regular meetups there. I'm sure Vic would be totally down for that. I would like to do one on the Bit license. Still not too late. I want to try to make it happen this fall. I think that's something we could get together. But yeah, wherever you are, start doing monthly or quarterly meetups.
Yep.
With the concept of trading cash to Monero always being part of that, right? You could meet up to give a presentation on full chain membership proofs, whatever it may be, but also have the element being people are coming together to trade goods and services for Monero, cash for Monero, right? That's what we got to start having more of those events. I'm going to start building things into XMR Bazaar to make that more conducive, kind of like a meetup listing option. So people can list reoccurring meetups. Like MoneroTopia will literally become one of those listed on there, right? Like, oh, it's a yearly conference that happens here, and people can join the meetup. They can click to join it, so you get alerts, right? So then you could have the Chicago Nick Fuentes Monero meetup.
That's so sick. That would be so awesome.
Like, I'm sure Tux would want to be on that meetup list. I would want to be on that meetup list. So people can throw their meetups wherever they are. The Monero-based meetups have a reoccurring thing. You can join it, get the message when they're going to meet. You could coordinate, have a chat going on there, talking about, keep conversation going. Yeah, man.
That's a great idea. That's super cool. So Privacy OG, you have so many reasons now to start doing it in Australia. Soon enough, you can post it on XMR Bazaar. Hopefully that's going to be a thing.
Yeah, it will 100% be a thing. Yeah.
So
We will come to you
Yeah,
if costs permit.
yeah, but it's so exciting. You're doing so much for this space. It's crazy. You're doing so many things, and you have so many ideas. That's awesome.
Dude,
And,
I wish I had a bigger team helping Anarchio out with XMR Bazaar. I feel like there's a lot we can do to, I want to obviously we need to add language features, right? So when you're logging in Buenos Aires, it should feel native and obviously in Spanish.
Spanish, yeah.
Be more locally based to where you are. It shouldn't be like somebody in Argentina is be like, oh, I want to create the Argentinian version of XMR Bazaar. No, they should want to use XMR Bazaar. So it should just so we can bring more people. Right, we need that network effect.
Yep.
That's what will really get the Monero economy going on a global scale. Is when somebody in New York jumps on MoneroTopia on XMR Bazaar and can rent an Airbnb in Buenos Aires for the next weekend. Right, like. That's when things are really cooking.
And what I love about it, and I guess we can get into the news section too, is the fact that, and I'll start sharing this one. People they sell stuff on XMR Bazaar, but sometimes it's just very niche things. Like this guy sends cigarettes from Poland to the Netherlands.
I guess there's probably a financial benefit there, to be honest.
Yeah. And
there's this one obscure tax loophole where if he sells
Yeah.
cigarettes only only to the Netherlands, then it's like a tax write-off or something.
Oh, for sure, it's cheaper in Poland. For sure, the Netherlands. So there we go. Yeah, this guy just literally wants somebody to send him cheap cigarettes. Like there's so many just obscure and very specific things.
It's the free market, man. The free market in action.
And then I was thinking too, like the forum, maybe we're gonna have XMR Bazaar influencers. If you're doing really good on the forum and you're really providing value and you're getting tips and stuff like that, you can become one of the first influencers.
Yeah, we could start gamifying the forum, right? Show like top contributors, right? Yeah.
How many days? Like this is the 7th day in a row you logged in, and you started so many chats. And
Monero Maverick can come to the forums and take them over and be the top contributor. Hey, it can happen. It can happen.
Yeah.
If he's contributing positive Monero content.
Yeah. Then so be it.
I mean, we have a section we have this thing sectioned off, right? So purely Monero content in one area. We have a casual chat. We have a serious chat. So you could find your corner to discuss whatever you want to discuss. And the best stuff will rise to the top. The undesirable stuff probably won't get tipped. It won't be encouraged.
Yep. It fixed so many things, and I see so many posts like the free next one that I'm going to show. Like for example, this guy wants us to buy digital goods that are popular among Monero users. So he wants to buy, I guess just digital games and whatever. But okay, so depending on what game you want to buy, you can get a gift card. You can get a Steam gift card that people are selling that I've seen on XMR Bazaar. You can maybe just find the keys for that game, and then this person, they want to sell Amazon gift cards. So he has Amazon gift cards, and he wants Monero for them. Well, yeah, maybe set up yourself as a seller on XMR Bazaar. There we go. And then Kofnix, $5. Thank you so much. I'd like to send regards to Revolut, Douglas, Tuman, and Tuxedo, and congratulate them for the excellent work in promoting Monero and addressing important topics.
Yeah. Let me read that one out loud. Yeah, Kofnix. I've seen this guy on Twitter. You're welcome to jump up, man. For viewers on stage, he's putting good content out there. Also, encourage you, man, to post on the forums. So he tipped a very generous tip, $4.98. I'd like to send regards to Tony, Douglas Tuman, and Tuxedo, and congratulate them for the excellent work in promoting Monero and addressing important topics. These live streams are of public interest and help newcomers avoid falling for misinformation. Yeah, 100%. That's why we do these shows. And it's also a great place to just bring out new ideas. It's this open platform, as permissionless as we could, be given the technology. Obviously, we don't want trolls up here. But we have an open platform. Viewers on stage, everybody come up. Anything you're working on, any concerns you have, you come air it out. Thank you, man. Appreciate the tip.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. And I also want to mention on that list, Body. Come on. Body is amazing. And
Body, yeah. Too. The amount of value Body brings to this show.
So much.
Cannot thank him enough. And he refused to even allow us to pay him. A lot of people don't even know that. So he's extremely generous with his time and contributions, and they're extremely valuable. Not to mention the contributions he's been making to Monero itself. But we don't need to get into that now. I'm sure Barty will give us an update on what he's been working on in terms of actually contributing to Monero. But yeah, huge thank you to Barty.
And then, besides all of us, we do have to mention Sonita, because that's the woman powering the man behind it all.
This is why you're Sunita's favorite, man. This is why now you're making me look bad. You brought it up, not me. Tony, come on, man. Couldn't DM me on the side? Yeah, mention Sunita. 100%.
100%.
But for Sunita, none of this would be happening.
Yeah.
Definitely.
100%.
Keeps us going.
Yep.
Thank you, Sunita.
Next
She's
one.
not watching right now.
Yeah. So, and then how to contribute getting to Monero without being able to purchase any. So this guy, he's young, he's underage, he said, and then he doesn't want to purchase Monero for KYC. That's what he's basically talking about. He doesn't have any coding skills, and he wants to contribute. Well, if you want to contribute and you want to make some Monero, well, again, XMR Bazaar is awesome, and you can do so many things. I mean, maybe you like coding, so maybe get into coding and then maybe become a dev and start a CCS, or see what skills you have, any value that you can provide, and then provide it on XMR Bazaar. And yeah, so that's how you can make some Monero. Think about ways
to start with forum posts. Come put up some quality forum posts, things that like teach people. You could even like put up a post how to use XMR Bazaar or whatever it may be.
Yep.
I'm sure you'll get tips.
Oh, for sure. Okay, so enough of XMR Bazaar for now. Now this one I actually just saw just a couple of minutes ago, and it's cool. So this is the Monero Oxide bug bounty. Privacy code gets real money behind it. So IRS had, and I think they had two $625,000 bounties on Monero, which they were unsuccessful. And that was in 2020. So yeah, I think they had two bug bounties of that amount. And that was some pretty big money. And it's been a while. But PowerUp Privacy just dropped $100,000 on a bug bounty for Monero Oxide, which is a set of audited Rust libraries that re-implements Monero's transactions protocol from scratch, and which also evolved from Monero CRI. So that's huge. And it's so awesome, the fact that we're trying to evolve Monero. And then the next thing is, okay, let's also attack it. And, let's see how that reacts. And then sometimes we just get attacked by things like Cubic and all these other things. And look at us. I mean, we learn from it, we post about it, we talk about it, and then we just move on and get better. So that's awesome. That's good stuff. And then let's see. Okay. Yeah, this one is huge. It's actually really big that MoneroCon, and Docs mentioned it. MoneroCon is not going to happen in 2026. So they wrote that for all the reasons above, we, the staff team, have decided to not move forward with MoneroCon 2026 in Prague. This was not a decision we made lightly. After all, this has been our passion project, and we'll miss the event and the people we've made friends with over the years. However, this is not the end of MoneroCon. To the contrary, we want to take a break to recover so we can resume with MoneroCon 2027 and actually enjoy the process. This decision also gives us the time to figure out better solutions for payments, streamline our processes, and refocus on creating the MoneroCon experience without sacrificing ourselves in the process. So it's sad. It's and it's a whole year, so it's gonna be quite a long time.
Big sad.
7 doesn't feel good, but guys, there's that's why we have MoneroTopia as well, and they're in different times. So definitely try to make it to MoneroTopia. And it's in Mexico again, and then who knows where it's going to be next time. It's exciting because Dog is open to other locations too. So, yeah, but this is sad. Then this is cool, and it's so true to probably so many of us, including me. I used to have, years ago, I used to be a Bitcoin maxi with laser eyes on Twitter. That's how I used to be. And then, so Bitcoin opens your eyes, but then Monero will radicalize you if you're open-minded. And being open-minded is so important. And that's why it's cool if Zcash comes to the conference as well. It's important that we have more privacy projects, not just Monero. There's so many currencies around the world: the euro, the dollar, the Australian dollar, Great British Pound. So I'm okay with having personally, as long as they're private and as robust as Monero, multiple Monero variants. Let's say like competition. If it's good, and why not? So the more the better, because it's not about maximalism and tribalism. It's just about what works, and keeping away from the attacks that our governments are using on us across all fields: privacy, education, everything, all the shit they do. But then I want to mention a little bit just community crowdfunding system, CCS. Again, if you have any idea, maybe you want to get into coding, get into it and try to contribute. Think of ideas. If you have any ideas, do it. Start working on it. Why not? You're the first one thinking about it. That's awesome. Do it, and you have so much support from us, Reddit, and so many people. So if you ever have any ideas, pitch it in. Maybe we can help. Post on Reddit and make it happen. Like Privacy OG again. If you make a conference in Australia, that'll be awesome, man. That'll be really cool. Then how risky is Monero? Somebody listened to a video from Mental Outlaw, which I did not see this one, but one of his comments allegedly insinuated that running a Monero node was seen in a negative light according to law enforcement. Is this true? As a beginner to crypto, is it unwise of me to run a node on my computer? Well, I guess depends on your jurisdiction, but I mean, generally it's safe to do, and we encourage you to do it. Let's see how governments around the world and how much more attention Monero is going to get as we're getting FCMP and all these things that will make it just on a different level. And I'm curious if IRC or any big organizations are going to put any bug bounties, which are probably going to be way more than $600,000 to try to crack Monero. A lot of money. It's probably going to be a lot of money because it just keeps getting stronger and stronger. So don't be scared, I guess, depending on where you are, and just, run the node. And also, I know one time I've seen something along the lines like, if Monero, what's the value proposition of Monero? And it's the ultimate value proposition. Like, it gives you privacy, and nobody wants to give you privacy nowadays. That's the ultimate value proposition. Or people say, should I buy some? Well, that's on you, but it's the ultimate value proposition. It's the ultimate test of just intelligence and everything. Just pure privacy that just keeps getting better and doesn't beg for help or anything. It just does its thing and protects the good people, and then it does protect the bad people as well. But that's more so on education to lower the crimes and everything, not just no privacy because we gotta solve all these crimes and blah 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 and all this terrorism. No, it's just poor education, and governments are just being lazy. Fix your economies, fix your education, then you'll have way less of everything. Now, Cubic, documenting the rise of Cubic from a fabricated 51% attack, arrogance of its founder, and fall of its price after finding out Monero was never successfully attacked, minus 59% down from its 3,300. So, and here is a couple posts. Let's see. So some Mr. Light movie said, don't play the victim cards on Cubic. Cubic simply demonstrates the power it gets. I want to see fear in their eyes when XMR is at 0. Just crazy stuff. Monero will stay because Cubic wanted it to stay. Jesus Christ, people actually say that. Wow, okay. That's intense. Calm down, guys. Just calm down. But yeah. And then 10 days have passed since the last major Monero reorg, and Cubic's pool is nowhere to be found. So yeah, we survived yet another attack. And now I did see this meme. Yeah, it was like I've seen this meme in 2020. I think when it was actually posted as well, and Untraceable reposted it as well. And this meme worked in 2016. It probably worked even in 2020. Banks don't like Bitcoin. Taxis don't like Uber. Hotels don't like Airbnb. Bookstores don't like Amazon. Cinemas don't like Netflix. Oil companies don't like Tesla. Innovation is not always liked. Well,
Dude,
Bitcoin
who's
is.
got the clip? I need the clip of the FBI saying they prefer people to use Bitcoin instead of cash because it's more easily traceable.
Oh, I haven't seen that. If you can
Somebody
find
at
it.
the FBI said that. It was
Oh,
a while
what?
ago. Yeah.
I haven't seen that. Well, that's funny. But yeah, well, they love Bitcoin. So does the government. They own it now, which is still kind of crazy to me. It's also crazy how he made Trump coin just before he got elected. That was crazy too. And now it's not much. And World Liberty Financial, like he doesn't care about privacy, it seems. So yeah, it's not going to change the world if you buy into
I mean, obviously, a
WLI.
lot of people didn't like the Trump coin. It was soured a lot of people. They always, but like ultimately, if we look at it this way, it kind of was a good thing because him doing this ridiculous, shitty meme coin, whatever, right
Mhm.
before him being elected, kind of gives precedent to the fact that like crypto is going to be allowed to exist without all of the harshness that was from the previous administration.
True.
Yeah,
Kind of gave
sure. It's
way.
like a stupid thing that he's selling. That's, I wouldn't say it's inherently a scam, but it's, it's a money grab. But
Yeah.
in doing that, it kind of shows that, oh yeah, they're gonna like kind of let this thing exist, and they're not gonna like make it hard for people to operate with crypto. So we'll see if that translates to privacy. But so far, so good, I guess.
So far, so good. That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
So far.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the way you put it. Yeah, for sure. Gives a bit of trust. Actually, we'll talk about Samurai a little bit in a second. Now this one, let's see, what was this one? This one was cool. Oh yeah, this one was cool. That's a cool post. So this one is from Coin Speaker. So let's just go back to this one and then see. So Monero received nearly $1 million donations in 2025 for development funding and more. And Untraceable is in this article as well, which is awesome. And then going back to that X post. So the CSS received in 2025 $1 million, 3,086 Monero in donations. So that's 2025 alone. And this included FCMP++ implementation, Carrot, just crazy stuff, FCMP support for hardware wallets, corporate development, GUI and CLI dev work, Monero core code, third-party code audits, and then wallet development, Federal Wallet, research funding, 51 attacks, network simulation tool, Bitcoin Pay server, just a lot of stuff. And that's a lot of money, and that's awesome. If you guys, want to contribute, that's another way. It's just to donate money to the devs that are putting the work. And then I think, let's see, I had, okay. So then Untraceable posted more stats about what we just talked about. And since 2020, 35,916.92 Monero has been donated. $10 million. That's crazy. And then 630, so $189,000 was donated just last week. Well, that was posted on September 18th, but yeah. So this month, that's quite a bit of money.
That is really impressive. That's a lot more than I would have expected, actually.
Same. Especially the 10 million in 5 years. Yeah. That's super awesome. And then, I guess while I'm at it, because I had this open because I was looking at some of his stuff. Definitely follow Untraceable. A lot of good stuff. And then he's been getting a lot of followers. That's awesome. He's at 18K. So if you haven't followed Untraceable, don't trace me, bro. Then go ahead. He's posting a lot of good stuff. Now let's see. We talked about this. Okay. Oh God. Okay. So let's talk about UK and their free of charge digital ID mandatory. Okay. Let's watch this video.
today, I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
All right, buddy, you don't need to spell it out. We get it. Oh God, that's so sinister and so disgusting. And that's coming soon, actually. But the fact that the way he phrased it just so makes me want to just puke. Free of charge. So free of charge, digital ID. You don't have to pay for it, and it's mandatory. Imagine having to pay for it too, as well.
Hey, I mean, they
Wow.
have the TV license, and it's mandatory, and you pay for it if you have a TV in your house, so it wouldn't surprise me either way.
You have a TV license?
Yes, they have a TV license, and if you have a TV in your house, you have to pay for it, even if you don't watch the BBC or public
What?
TV. Yep.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay. So, guys, you're getting a discount on this one if you're in the UK. It's crazy. A digital ID. And then, let's see. There's a couple things they mentioned. Smart cities to monitor devices and sensors transmitting data such as energy usage, air quality, traffic congestion. E-government for citizens to access and use services, file taxes, vote, collect benefits. Yeah, it's going to be used for a lot of stuff. Food and sustainability for farmers and consumers to verify provenance of produce because they care, and to enhance value and traceability in supply chains. Yeah, because they care a lot. Social platforms for social interactions to access third-party services that rely on social media logins. We already know that people are getting jailed for their opinions in the UK. We talked about it in the past. There we go. Oof, that's crazy stuff.
Wait, bro, you weren't allowed to post that meme.
Oof, but can you imagine? He just posted about Monero. We have Monero UK. Oh,
It's true.
He's-
You have been our UK.
his name is just a crime. Could be a crime, like just his name. Oof, oh my God. That's just, yeah. Now,
I want to point out though that there's a lot of people who are like, I guess rightfully like concerned about this. It is funny though that we already have this in the United States, and we already have for like 10 to 20 years. I don't know if it's quite to the same degree as like what's being proposed here, but Real ID, a lot of people don't realize Real ID is basically that, and it was created almost 2 decades ago. And now it's required if you get a driver's license. And I'm not saying that to make it be like a good thing, but we already technically have it. And what that means is that the physical information on your ID is inside a federal database that can be accessed by law enforcement. So that's it basically.
Yep. And you have so many things tied to your name. And then, if you have Coinbase and whatever, they want a lot of stuff from you. Yeah, your data is everywhere. And then,
Take back to the day I could just create a Coinbase account and just add a debit card, and I could just buy whatever I wanted. Dude, like 10 years ago, amazing. You could do anything online, and there was like you could create a PayPal account, you could create a Coinbase account, a Binance account, whatever. You didn't need to give them anything. You just needed to have a payment method, and that was it.
Even in 2021, like KuCoin, you didn't have to give them anything pretty much. And you can do stuff, and then just slowly they started introducing things as well. And then, so like Talk said, we've been having this for, decades. But then if you really think about it, we had a bit of a breather from communism. It wasn't digital, but it's just making a come back digital. So
I guess the main concern now is how this is going to be taken advantage of going forward and being used to force people to, you want to use, fucking internet. You got to show your ID. I'll do a couple super chats if you don't mind me reading out real quick. Privacy OG tipped 50 cents. Shout out to Monero Talk. It was what got me into Monero. Dude, largely the same for me, honestly. As a privacy advocate, I originally was looking into Zcash, which hadn't launched because I'm a Snowden fan, but then I accidentally came across Monero Talk. Now I stay up 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. waiting for live stream. Whoa, this guy stays up late. Wow, I'll respect. Thank you, Privacy OG. Appreciate that. Neil has tipped 35 cents. Much love as always, but keep in mind that you're shadow banned on YouTube. Look at the view count. I really recommend you guys to circumvent that situation by showing up on podcast with large audiences. That's where the big visibility potential is, IMO. That is a good point. I think the last time Doug was on a larger podcast was probably Luke Radowski's show. So maybe we'll have to see if there's any people who would facilitate Monero being on there.
Thank you guys for the donations and privacy. OG, definitely OG, man. You're staying up late for us. Thank you. Thanks for that. And he also said, "Great Australia, which usually follows UK, with probably digital ID crap." It does tend to do that, yeah. It's just I don't even want to think about it. But let's move on. A couple more things. Okay, I have one more Monero or crypto related thing, and then just a couple free political things, and then that's it. So the sentencing of the Samurai Wallet Bitcoin devs happens November 6th. Never forget the sacrifices they made to protect your right to privacy and self-custody Bitcoin. They go down in history as heroes and freedom fighters. True cyberpunks to the end. #free samurai. Yeah, it's sad. And hopefully they will be free soon. Now, okay, let's show this clip about Netanyahu and him meeting with US influencers, most likely on Israel's payroll, to discuss how they can brainwash evangelicals back to supporting Israel. He explains the most important war for Israel is on social media, and their two top targets are TikTok, of course, and X. TikTok is, I never really used it, and I got rid of it because I wasn't using it anyway, but TikTok is just crazy. You just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and it's sick. All right, let's watch this.
My first published paper was how you and the Likud party are cut from the same ideological cloth as Trump and the GOP in America. And so specifically with Charlie Kirk's assassination, who was a big mentor of mine, was my first mentor in the space, evangelicals, from all my research, evangelicals are the reason that Israel has been supported in public sphere outside of just Jews. So with Charlie's assassination and with the kind of trajectory that we see with like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, I guess I'm curious about what's another game plan if we lose evangelical support for the state of Israel. What's our backup plan to be strong, like outside of the diaspora?
Christian influencers. Okay. You said, you talked about the woke right, and he said, I call it the woke Reich. That's a brilliant. The woke right, because these people, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane. They're loonies. But they're actually meeting on some of the things. And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done with money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. To that community, they're very important. And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. The weapons change over time. You can't fight today with swords. That doesn't work very well. Okay, and you can't fight with cavalry. That doesn't work very well. And you have these new things, like drones, things like that. I won't get into that. But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are the social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is TikTok. TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it's. And the other one, what's the other one? That's most important. X. That's very good. And
very good.
Yeah, good job, guys. Good clap. It feels like a bit of like we're just monkeys in the crowd. Like, what's the first one, guys? TikTok, yay!
Is this like a class? Is this like little children? Yeah. I love how we oh no, China can't have our data. no, China, no, they can't have TikTok. And then we just basically gave it to Israel.
Yeah.
We gave it to Larry Ellison, who isn't Israeli. He owns Oracle, so he's also a U.S. citizen, but he's also an Israeli. We kind of basically sort of gave it to Israel, which is really funny. It's like, oh no, China, but then like that's fine, you can give it to Israel. That's okay.
And it's just it's hard for people to stop using TikTok too, because it's so addictive and it just keeps going and going and going, and it's all about just seeking your attention. So this is a different crowd that we're speaking to right now on the MoneroTopia, but a lot of people are just glued to TikTok, and it's very sad, because how could it be good information if they have only like a couple seconds to hook your attention before you scroll to the next one and the next one and the next one? And God, they get hundreds of thousands of likes for stupid stuff, super stupid stuff. Personally, I haven't even been using X because there's just so much heavy opinion on it that it's just too much. I just look for Monero stuff, a couple stuff, and then I try to get out. I don't know, personally, it just feels kind of heavy. And also like Instagram and other platforms as well, Facebook, they changed the algorithm too to be more like TikTok. TikTok has a massive effect on all the other ones. And now you see a post from your friend, then you see an ad, then you see somebody from something international, and then the algorithm just changed so much, and it's so crap. And I'm fine with it. I was never addicted, but now it's even more. I just get a book and whatever. Negras Tormentas, give it to Israel, give it to US intelligence. Pretty much. Yep. And now, since we're on the topic of TikTok, there we go. And also what's interesting about TikTok is that before, the parents would tell the kids, stop spending so much time on the internet, get out, go play, go do something. But now I see the adults getting so hooked on these things. And Facebook Reels even scrolls for you once the video is done. You don't even have to do anything. It just does it for you.
Oh, dude, there are adult friends I have that they're cooked, man. They're fucking cooked. They got sucked in.
Yeah. And I'm joking with them. I tell them, man, I gotta put some parental control on your phone because and then you do it before you sleep. And then, or the thing is, like, you try to fill the gap with these things that just brainwash you. Whereas it's okay to be bored, and actually it's very good to be bored, because then if you think about stuff, if you're always just engaged and so they're trying to destroy us. That's why we talk about these things, because it's just so important, people's education. They're trying to steal our privacy, and then making us dumb is perfect. You won't even know. You don't even care. You just, sign me up. Digital ID. Yeah, it's so easy. It's so cool. Like, it's just, you're done. Nobody cares. Just let me watch my TikTok or whatever. Now this one, I've actually haven't seen this one, so it'll be live for me too. I'm interested. So President Trump has just signed an executive order making TikTok deal official, saving the platform and putting it under majority American control. America will now control the algorithm. The Chinese Communist Party will no longer poison the minds of our kids. Oh God. That's so cringe. Okay, so let's watch this. But yeah, that's interesting. Is that even possible? They just bought it? Or?
Next, sir, we have an executive order on TikTok. From the first days of your administration, you've charged a team from your administration, led by Vice President Vance, with ensuring that we can preserve TikTok as a platform for the 170 million Americans who use it, while ensuring that their data is properly protected as required by law. With this executive order, you will be effectively bringing into effect the agreement that will save TikTok and ensure that it can operate safely and securely.
So this is interesting because I had a very good talk with President Xi. I have a lot of respect for him. Hopefully he has a lot of respect for me too. And we talked about TikTok and other things, but we talked about TikTok, and he gave us the go ahead. You know, it's run by American investors and American companies, great ones, great investors.
Air quote American.
You don't get bigger, I don't imagine. And maybe I'll have JD. JD was very much involved and in charge of it. And maybe I'll have you say a few words about the deal. He would report back, and the points of the deal, I think, are great for our country. So, JD, do you want to give it a little talk, please?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So thank you, sir, for your leadership and for your help. We really couldn't have done this without the president actually ushering this deal over the finish line. There was some resistance on the Chinese side, but the fundamental thing that we wanted to accomplish is that we wanted to keep TikTok operating, but we also wanted to make sure that we protected Americans' data privacy as required by law, both because it's the right thing to do, but also because it's a legal requirement of the law that was passed last year by Congress. So I think that we were able to do that. Of course, we're going to keep on working at it, but this deal really does mean that Americans can use TikTok, but actually use it with more confidence than they had in the past, because their data is going to be secure and it's not going to be used as a propaganda weapon against our fellow citizens. We're very excited about it. We appreciate the cooperation of everybody involved, and it's a big day.
And I think I can say that especially the young people, they really wanted this to happen. They did not want to have TikTok close. And I got, a little used to TikTok. I used it myself during the campaign, and it was very successful.
They got Trump.
You know how I did with the young voter. And Charlie helped me a lot too. And he said to me, you should go on TikTok. And it actually had, because we got record votes with the young voter, as you know, for the election. So I was a little bit prejudiced in that way toward TikTok. It was very good and very meaningful. But we have American investors taking it over, running it, highly sophisticated.
All right, let's see the American investors. So here's a big one. We just talked about.
Here's your fellow American investor.
His English is very good, man. I was actually thinking about it. What the hell? I still have such a heavy accent, and this guy is just... That's crazy. But anyway, what do you guys think in the comments? What do you guys think about this? I mean, for me... I wish they would just say, because it's data privacy and the commies and the
what data privacy though? It's like we don't unless you live in California and you have the whatever they call it, the California Privacy Act. There's very, very little privacy regulation in the United States. So there's not that much benefit to moving it here, if for that reason, dude was I'm like, what law, bro? What data privacy? Sure, we have some rights, but they're very, very loose, and companies can largely do what they want as long as it's covered in the TOS or the privacy policy.
Mm-hmm. But then, and they don't talk about this because they don't want to, but beyond privacy, which anyway, you're not getting data privacy and all these things. Besides all these things, why they can just say, okay, guys, don't use so much TikTok. It's very addictive. Be careful, no matter what the algorithm is, and just get a book, read some books. There are so many amazing podcasts. Look what I've been listening to. Look what I've been doing, and get educated. They don't want to say that, or just so many things they could just talk about if they actually want people to become educated and prosper and all these things. But yeah, great. So we got the American investors, but I wonder how it even happened. How did Xi agree to this?
Well, I think TikTok still remains in China as a Chinese company, but the U.S. run service is now going to be largely owned by U.S. air quote U.S. investors.
Yeah. The biggest one.
Larry Ellison specifically is going to be probably the largest shareholder who owns Oracle. But if we're being honest, the main reason that this happened was because China was they allowed TikTok too much. They allowed people to show what Israel was doing and too much negative Israel PR on TikTok. So we gotta stop that. Can't allow that so much. And now that it's owned by called American investors, well, we know for sure that that'll not be allowed nearly as much.
Mm-hmm. Privacy OG Netanyahu spent his childhood in the US, so he uses that to his advantage. Did he? Okay, I didn't know. But he's a very decisive person. Yep, TikTok is so toxic. It is so toxic. And I didn't know. Okay. Still, he talks so good. I've been here for quite a bit, and my accent is still, oh, whatever.
Do you think the kind of views that people get on TikTok, though, it almost makes me want to start a TikTok for just like spreading Monero. But it is like, I imagine it's like way, like even Twitter's like bad enough. But I imagine TikTok is way easier to get sucked into.
It's ridiculous, man. Like, I've seen things that are so stupid. It's so crazy stupid, and they get so many likes. How is it possible? And they're so, it's kind of funny, like with the internet, because it allowed everybody to have a voice, but not everybody should really have a voice. A lot of people should just probably shut up. But you should do it, honestly, and let us know how it goes. Hopefully you don't get just shadow banned.
If I can. I mean, I tried opening an account a couple months ago, got suspended within 5 minutes. They're very strict on VPNs, alias email addresses, so I don't even know if I'm able to do it reasonably privately or not. I'll have to find out.
See. Okay. Negras, every social media is toxic. Yep. But then, let me see this again. There is, and I showed it to you guys one time, this new social media. I don't know. It's called Monet, and it's from Europe. Essentially, it's the algorithm is very different, and it's privacy oriented, all of this stuff. And I think it's getting launched either this month or the next. So once it's live, I guess we'll take a look and see. It says no creepy spying, no shadow bans, no tricks. Europe's answers to big tech, they only feed you control, and all these things. So we'll talk about it. It's interesting. Maybe we can shield Monero to them because it's very new. So there'll be something to do. And then the last thing, guys, is... Oh, no, wait. Did I just cancel my... Yeah, sorry.
I'll pull back up.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There we go. Thank you. Last thing from Doug. So this one is on Charlie Kirk. Just really quick. So yeah, Fox News is running the Men of Steel headline, and then Health Ranger is saying on X that it's obviously stupid beyond belief. I forgot to mention that if this trajectory continues, soon the Christian-leaning press will ridiculously declare that Charlie Kirk was actually Jesus, and he died for our sins. Magical bullets, bulletproof skin, rapid clothing changes by the shooter while he was on the roof, magical rifle assembly skills, magical self-writing notes that don't sound anything like the way young people communicate. This is really getting insane. So yeah, this one was interesting too. But yeah, so just be very careful when you read stuff like that. Always look deep into everything. But yeah, guys, this was a news section. If you guys ever have anything that you want us to cover, you can always drop it in the comment section. And then I'm the only one liking the show on YouTube. There's just one like, so please, give us.
I don't think it's live. You have to reload the page, and then you'll see it refresh.
Hold on.